This is my friend Grant.
Hello.
And today we are celebrating breakfast for dinner. I don't know if it's a celebration. Ooh. I just think, yeah, I don't know why I said celebrating. I just really like breakfast for dinner. I know in my house it's something I probably do once or twice a week. How about you?
Yeah, I love a breakfast for dinner. Even if it's just a bowl of cereal. Yeah. Breakfast for dinner is
It counts. Comforting. It totally counts.
We were saying we always say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, so we might as well eat it twice.
I like that a lot. Yes. So we are going to show you some fun ideas that you could make for breakfast for dinner tonight. Or, you know, the weekend's coming up. Happy Thursday. So, you know, maybe some good... Yeah, it's Thursday. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Maybe we can use some good ideas for brunch this weekend. But we want to hear from you guys, as always. Comment in, say hello. We'd love to say hello to you guys. Where are you watching from? And what do you guys like to make when you have breakfast for dinner? I know I had breakfast for dinner last night. I sauteed up a bunch of vegetables, put some eggs over it, and poof, it was dinner. So that's what I have, just like that. So what are you going to be making today, Grant?
So for breakfast for dinner, I thought I would make something really fun, really exciting. It's chicken and waffles. That's right.
Chicken and waffles.
So we're going to get started by making the chicken itself. In this skillet, basically what we're going to do is fry up some chicken, and then we're going to toss it in a really delicious, yummy, sweet, buttery sauce. So that's what I'm working on right here. In this skillet, I have 6 tablespoons of butter. Jeanette, will you add about a cup of maple syrup to that? And then we're also going to add a splash of apple cider vinegar because we have all that fat, all that sweet, so we want to just kind of mellow it out a little bit with a little bit of apple cider vinegar. You could use like lemon juice, you can use pretty much anything. But we're basically just going to cook this down until it gets nice and thick. And then once our chicken fingers are done frying, we're going to toss it in this. And that's going to be the most delicious sauce. I made this a few weeks ago. We were all like going crazy. I mean, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but...
You should toot it.
Toot toot. Toot toot.
It's funny, when we test recipes in the kitchen, you know, it's always like take a little bit of this, take a bit of that, like give each other feedback. I couldn't stop eating these. They were absolutely delicious. So you guys have to try this recipe. This recipe, all the recipes we're going to make today will be up on the Facebook page just a little bit later. And we would love to say hello to Minerva from Bryan, Texas. Hello, Minerva. Thank you for watching. And Jackie from Central PA. Hello, Jackie.
Ooh, hello, Jackie.
So what's happening over here?
So now what we're going to do is bread our chicken fingers. We just are working on a standard breading procedure over here. So I have some flour. I season that up with some salt and pepper. And here I have some buttermilk, and I'm going to add 2 eggs to that. And I'm using chicken tenders just because I feel like they're a little bit easier because they're already cut into the perfect size. But you can use chicken breast if you want, or if you want to just cut up some chicken thighs, you can use that as well.
I like that you're doing this too with the boneless chicken.
Yeah.
Because I know I love fried chicken, and when I order fried chicken out at a restaurant, like, it's a little bit of a challenge with the bones in there. This you could just like, what were we talking on Tuesday on Facebook Live? We were saying how much food you could shovel in your mouth. Yeah. I feel like the chicken tender is a nice opportunity to really just eat it all. It's delicious. Hello to Jessica from New York. She loves breakfast for dinner. Jessica, what do you like to cook for breakfast for dinner? I'm going to show you guys how to make a simple pancake in a little bit. Grant is working on his chicken and waffles.
Yeah, if you guys are just now tuning in, I'm in the middle of making a chicken and waffles dish. In this skillet, we're just making our sauce, which is pretty simple. It's just butter, maple syrup, and a little bit of apple cider vinegar.
Do you let that just come to a bubble and bubble out, or should I lower
the heat? Yeah, you can turn it down a little bit, and we'll just let it kind of stay warm.
Get sticky and yummy.
Get nice and sticky.
Hello to Leslie in Toronto, Canada. Thank you for watching. And Anne from Haverhill, Massachusetts. Hello, Anne. Thank you for joining us today.
And then instead of breading our chicken and breadcrumbs, since it's breakfast for dinner, I thought we'd use some cereal. So we're using some cornflake cereal.
I love cereal.
And the reason I love this so much is because once you fry it, it gets so crunchy. But even after you dip it into that sauce, it still maintains that like yummy crunch. So it's almost like panko, but it has that like corn flavor.
I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, right? I'm going to season that up with a little bit of salt and pepper.
Like I was saying, like cereal for me is like, you know, we eat so much wonderful food here when we're working all day that like sometimes I'm just so tired when I get home. I'm like, I'm going to have a bowl of cereal. I love a good bowl of cereal.
So I'm just going to start breading these guys up, and then I'm going to pop them into a fryer. I have this fryer at like 375, but you could actually bake these chicken fingers as well. If you're going to bake them, you just put them onto a sheet tray, on a rack onto a sheet tray like this, and spray them down with some cooking spray. And then you just pop them into like a 375 oven and cook them for like 20 minutes or something until they're nice and crispy and crunchy.
Very lovely.
So you could do that as well. And also this is a great like sort of make ahead. Our friend Abby used to work here, and whenever she made anything that's breaded, she always did it a day ahead of time, and then you let it sit in the fridge and kind of dry out, and it actually like maintains the crunch even more and keeps that coating on there a lot better. So that's a great thing to make.
Hi Abby,
as well.
how are you?
Abby?
Hope you're watching. If you guys are just tuning in, I'm Jeanette, and this is Grant, and we are in the Rachael Show Prep Kitchen. We are on Rachel's culinary team, and we are showing you some fun ideas for breakfast for dinner. We want to say hello to Elizabeth from South Georgia. Hello, Elizabeth. And Ethel from Milford, Ohio. Hello, Ethel. And Lottie from North Carolina is watching. Hi, Lottie.
Hi, Lottie. All right, so I'm going to keep working on these guys, and I'm going to throw them into the fryer.
Do you mean to pop some of those in the fryer?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay.
So the fryer's nice and hot.
What temperature do you fry at?
It's at 375. And those take about 8 minutes. But if, like I said, if you want to bake them, it takes about 20. But yeah, pretty simple.
Should I throw about 4 of here in here? You don't want to
Yeah.
it? Okay.
And we're just going to let those guys fry up.
Yummy. Patricia was wondering, what are gluten-free options? Actually, now that I'm thinking about this, is corn cereal gluten-free?
I think most of them are.
You could probably find a corn or like a rice flake cereal.
Yeah.
You could definitely bread it in that. You could skip the flour step too. I've made gluten-free chicken fingers before, where you just kind of do egg and then the breadcrumb, and then go back to the egg and the breadcrumb, so you get a little bit more of like a nice heartier crunch on your chicken wings.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
Hello to Emily from Biloxi, Mississippi, and Tristan from New Zealand on the other side of the world. Hello, Tristan.
Hello, Tristan.
Anybody making breakfast for dinner tonight? We'd love to hear what you guys are cooking. Elizabeth says that chicken and waffles are awesome. We agree.
I think on Facebook we've talked about before, whenever you bread something, you're supposed to do the dry hand and the wet hand, but then you kind of forget which is which after a while, and you just end up breading the ends of your fingers.
But don't fry those. That looks really yummy. Right. I think I'm going to get started on what I'm going to make for breakfast for dinner.
Yeah, I'm going to wash up and then I'll join you.
Excellent. Okay. So this is actually, you're catching me make something that when I am having breakfast for dinner, I like properly make these maybe once a week. Also for breakfast or lunch too. They freeze really nicely. I'm making blender pancakes. So what I like about it is that you're making your own batter. You're not using something from a box, but you're making it all right into the bowl of a blender, so you're not dirtying tons of dishes. So in here, I just have 2 cups of some rolled oats. And again, our viewer who was asking about gluten-free options, you can definitely find rolled oats are normally gluten-free. Just check the side of the box. These pancakes actually are gluten-free if you want to make these. So then I'm going to add in, they're really healthy as well, but you wouldn't really know it because we were testing them, snacking on them all morning, and nobody was like, ooh, these taste healthy. I think they were just tricked by the pancakes. So to the base of a blender, I'm adding in a little bit of 0% Greek yogurt, which is one of my favorite ingredients to use. And then I'm going to add in a teaspoon of baking powder. Lena commented and she said that she had pizza for breakfast. She thinks she's doing it backwards. Pizza for any meal is not an issue, Lena.
Yeah, totally. Russ is watching from Kansas City, Missouri.
Russ.
Hello, Russ. I don't think I ever realized that Kansas City's in Missouri. Why isn't it in Kansas?
There's 2 Kansas cities.
Okay.
There's Kansas City,
cool.
Kansas,
Glad
and
we
Kansas
cleared
City,
that
Missouri.
up. Thanks, Russ. Susan is watching from Payson, Utah.
Hello,
which
Susan.
I knew Payson was in Utah. And Colette is watching from Iowa.
Hello, Colette.
Hello.
And Wen is watching from San Jose, California. Hello, Wen. All right, so I'm going to add in 2 bananas to this. So they're kind of like, they're like these blender oat banana pancakes.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, this is a perfect use up. I'm not sure if in your house, I always just have bananas that are like too ripe, that like they're not going to be enjoyable to eat.
Yeah.
But actually, at that stage, they're perfect for baking and cooking with because their sugars in them are so strong. So it's actually a really nice use up for some bananas that are on their way out.
And another great tip, if you have bananas that are on their way out and you do want to use them, you can just pop them into the freezer too and use them later. But the mistake I always make, you should peel them first and then put them into the fridge, because otherwise you take them out of the freezer and you can't peel them.
You cannot peel a frozen banana. I'm adding in about somewhere between 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of almond milk, and I'm going to watch these when I pop those onto the blender. Just to, if it's too tight, I'll loosen it up a little bit. I think I've got all my ingredients. I have my baking powder, a little bit of cinnamon, the oats, the Greek yogurt, 2 eggs, my almond milk. I think that's it. I'm gonna zap these up real quick.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, really simple.
Larry is watching us. What seasoning do you like for pan-fried potatoes? I mean, whenever I make potatoes, I go pretty heavy on the salt always, and then you can kind of do anything from there. I like a little mustard powder, a little Dijon mustard, any of that's fine. Steve is making grandma's Swedish pancakes and strata. That sounds delicious. And Siri is watching from Norway. Hello, Siri. I'm going to check on my sauce over here. You can kind of see it's getting a little bit thicker. I'm going to turn up the heat so it thickens up a little bit more.
All right, so you see that, guys? That is just our pancake batter right here in the blender. And if you're crafty and could pour from this right onto your, I have just a griddle preheating over medium, go for it. I am not that neat in the kitchen, so I like to use a 1/4 measuring cup when I'm doing this, just so I'm portioning them out properly. I feel like I have no control when I'm pouring the pancake batter. So I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna start making some pancakes. Oh, but I want to hear from you guys. I've got chocolate chips and I have blueberries. What kind of pancakes do you guys want to see today?
Ooh.
I know. I'm a chocolate chip pancake
It's
girl.
up to you guys.
What about you?
Pancakes. Or chocolate chips or blueberries.
Yeah.
I think I would probably pick a blueberry, but
we want to hear what
maybe
you guys
not.
have to say.
Maybe I would do chocolate.
You want both? I mean, I could do both.
Oh my god, I want both. You're so right. Susan is watching from Upper Michigan.
Hello, Susan.
And hello, Lower Michigan as well. Jenny is watching from Union, Michigan.
Hello.
Hello, Michigan.
Jenny.
And Brenda's watching from Canada.
Hello, oh Canada. All right, I'm gonna just pour into my quarter cup, right onto my preheated griddle. Oh, my other trick when I'm making pancakes, and Grant knows this because he's my friend, I'm not the most patient person. So you have to be patient when you're making pancakes, though. You have to keep the heat over like a consistent medium heat. You don't want it to get too hot, and then you don't want it to get too cold. Otherwise, your pancakes are going to have burnt spots. They're going to burn because of like especially in the sugars and the banana. So you have to be patient. Just wait it out. Does anybody comment in yet about whether we're doing blueberries or chocolate chips? I'm getting chocolate chips. Okay,
yeah.
four to nothing so far, guys. All right, so I'm going to toss some chocolate chips in these guys. I like to pour them out before I put my toppings in because I don't want them to weigh them down. I like nice fluffy pancakes. So I'm going to pop these in now that I've poured them out. I'm going to sprinkle a few chocolate chips. I like to use the mini chocolate chips because it gets more chocolate all throughout the pancakes. Yeah. And the more chocolate, the better, right? And these pancakes, like I said, are totally healthy, so you should not feel guilty about throwing a few sprinkles of chocolate chip in here.
Aaliyah commented and said that she literally just bought a French press, and she's waiting to see what you're going to do with it. Jeanette's going to make something with that in just a second.
You're going to be real happy to see what we're going to do with the French press today.
Leah's watching from Alabama, and Adriana from Corpus Christi, Texas is watching.
Corpus Christi.
So I just pulled some chicken out of the fryer, and look how yummy and golden and delicious it looks. It's so crunchy.
So good in here today.
Look at that chicken. Look how crispy and crunchy that is.
Chicken. Beautiful, Grant.
I know. Let's all just admire it for like about a minute or two. That looks good.
Grant, why don't you tell them what that beeping behind us is?
Oh, the beeping behind us is a waffle maker. I'm about to make waffles right now because today we're making breakfast for dinner, and so I thought I'd make chicken and waffles because it'd be a nice, fun. It's a fun meal, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to get started over here on our waffles. And here I just have some flour, and I'm making a yeast waffle today, which kind of sounds scary whenever anybody mentions yeast, but this is actually pretty simple. This is just 1 teaspoon of instant yeast. I'm just going to throw that in there. You want to make sure you're using the instant, and a little bit of sugar. Not only does that sweeten our waffle, but it kind of feeds that yeast and makes it work really nicely. And then we're also going to put in a big pinch of salt and a cup and a half of water, and then 1 stick of melted butter. And that's all you really have to do for these waffles, because now magic happens. Because what you do is you just cover it. You let it sit on the counter for about an hour, or you can pop it in the fridge and use it the next day. And all of that yeast is going to start reacting with everything else and get nice and puffy, and it's going to give you the fluffiest inside of waffle, but also the crispiest outside of the waffle.
I was going to ask the difference between a yeast waffle and a non-yeast waffle, because like he was saying, you shouldn't be afraid of yeast. I'm, again, not the baking type, so I'm slightly afraid of yeast.
Yeah, I think
so you're saying it's crispier on the outside and like doughier on the inside?
I would say typically like a waffle is like a cake texture, where it's like soft all over, but then like really soft and cakey in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But a yeast waffle is more like light and airy on the inside and then crispy on the outside. So this is what it looks like after it's set for a while. And you can see it's kind of bubbly. You can definitely smell the yeast, like it smells really good. And the best part about these is when you put them into the waffle maker, they smell amazing. Like the aroma of the yeast and all the sugar and stuff in there, it smells so good. So to this I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of milk and 2 eggs. And then I'm just going to whisk that up, and I'm going to pop it into our waffle maker.
Yummy.
And make some waffles.
Grant, Linda commented, and she was saying I should do blueberry and chocolate chip pancakes, so it's like a little bit bad and a little bit good. Linda, I like your style. It's going to be my next batch. This first batch. Actually, I'm going to flip them off the. I'm going to put them on. Grant and I are going to share this wire rack. I don't know why. Wire racks are just very useful and helpful. You take one of those. This is a baking. Cooling rack. Again, not a baker. And I put that on a sheet tray, and they're actually really good. Like Grant said, when you're making chicken fingers and you want to like cook them in advance and keep them on a low oven, so they'll stay nice in the oven. They will stay nice and crispy in the oven. And so I'm actually just going to throw my pancakes on there, because pancakes are a great thing if you're having a brunch party or breakfast for dinner. You can make them in advance. Put them on one of these racks so they don't get soggy underneath. Pop them in a low oven, and then it's like warm, hot pancakes when everybody's ready to eat. Look at those, aren't they? These are the blender, banana, and oat pancakes. So that batch was chocolate chip. They smell good, right? Nice and steamy. I'm going to make up another batch while Grant's getting his waffles together, and I'm going to do for Linda, I'm going to do a little bit of blueberry and a little bit of chocolate. I like that. We'd love to say hi to Deborah from Hershey, Pennsylvania. Hello, Deborah. Heather in Nevada is watching, and Lorena from Los Angeles. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining us. You popping those waffles in?
I am. So I have a waffle maker back here. I'm using a really thick waffle maker because that's typically what you would use for a Belgian waffle. But you can use any kind of waffle maker that you like. But I'm just going to butter it up and throw them on there.
All right, I'm going to throw 2 pancakes on the griddle with some blueberries and chocolate chips. And then I am going to show you guys what I'm about to do with that French press, which I'm very excited about. Grant and I, when we were planning on what we were doing today for breakfast for dinner, he turned his chair around. We share an office. He turned his chair around. And he's like, "You should make a breakfast cocktail." And I was like, "You are right, sir." So I am going to show you how to make. It's not breakfast until you've had your coffee, right? So I'm going to show you how to make a Mexican coffee, which is probably one of my favorite brunch cocktails. It's nice after like a nice heavy meal. My Aunt Donna, hi Aunt Donna, I know you're watching. She and I like to make these together. It's one of our favorite after special occasion dinner drinks. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So I've got my little jigger tool here. I take these really cute Irish coffee cups, which I think say Irish coffee, Mexican coffee, you know, whatever kind of special boozy coffee you're drinking today. And I'm just going to put in a shot of some coffee liqueur into each glass. And then I'm going to top that with Grant and Maya's favorite ingredient, a little bit of tequila.
Oh, I just tasted the sauce, guys. It's so good.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to make it a tiny bit sweeter because I want it to be perfect.
All right,
I want it to be perfect for you, Jeanette.
Thank you. Because I didn't eat enough of those a few weeks ago when you were testing it.
Randy commented and said those pancakes look so good. They did look really good.
Yeah, we're going to try them in a little bit. Let me see if these might need a quick flip. There we go.
I'm very impressed by the way the batter kind of cooks up because it's not a very traditional pancake batter, but they look really, really nice. Yeah. And I think if you gave those to somebody, they would never know that they're healthy.
They wouldn't know that they were healthy, no. And actually, you have a world-famous chocolate chip cookie recipe, and one of your ingredients in those are oat flour, which is pretty much like the basis of these pancakes, which is why they're gluten-free, because there's not...
but don't give away too many of my ingredients, Jeanette.
That's all I know.
Heather commented and said, would those waffles work with gluten-free flour? They make a lot of those gluten-free flours now that like you can literally substitute a cup of the flour for a cup of gluten-free flour. So if you're gonna do that, I would try that because it's probably safer. But I know like on the internet there's plenty of like rice flour waffles and that sort of thing you can totally try. Because really the star of this dish is the chicken, and you can put that on top of anything. You can put that on a pancake, you can put it on a sandwich. I don't care what you put it on, as long as you're putting it somewhere.
Hi to Cassie from Louisville, Kentucky. DN is saying that she doesn't have a waffle maker. Can she make waffle batter as pancakes? Oh. I'm not sure if this one specifically would work that way.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah, let's try it. Okay. We'll love Facebook Live. Throw it on the hot griddle.
It's kind of a thin batter.
It's very thin, but maybe it'll be like crepey. Thanks, DN. This is fun. We're like testing this out for the first time. I mean, I can't see why that wouldn't work.
I think it's going to work. Let's see.
We're going to see. Maybe we're going to have pancakes and waffles. Elizabeth is saying savory pancakes, yes or no? I'm going to give a big thumbs up. I like a nice savory breakfast food.
Yeah. My parents have this recipe that they make where it's like a corn pancake, and then you top it with like shredded barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
It's really yummy. So that's a good like savory pancake
idea. All right,
idea.
guys. So I'm going to show you the very special ingredient. Oh, I'm going to whisk in a little bit of sugar to my whipped cream. This is the very special ingredient because I think this is what kind of makes this drink special, especially if you've got guests over. It's kind of a fun presentation. So what I'm going to do is I have my coffee liqueur, my tequila, and I just filled the glasses 3/4 of the way up with some freshly brewed coffee. I threw a pinch of cinnamon in there just to kind of reinforce the Mexican flavor. So now I'm going to take, this is some whipped cream, which I just whipped with a hand mixer, and you whip it somewhere between not whipped cream and whipped cream. What's that called? Just like loose whipped cream?
Yeah.
It's like somewhere in the middle. A little soft whipped cream. So now you pour it over the back of a teaspoon when you're pouring it over the glass. And it's going to settle really nicely right on top of the coffee. And it just gives this really nice presentation.
That's so pretty.
Isn't that fun?
Sarah commented and said, what's your favorite egg dish to serve for dinner?
Ooh.
The first thing that came to mind, our friend VJ has been making shakshuka.
I love to eat it. I have a really hard time saying it.
Shakshuka.
Yes. She actually wrote a bunch of recipes for shakshuka. They're up on the Rachael website. She wrote some beautiful recipes.
Shakira.
It's not Shakira.
That's the first thing that came to mind. But,
I love that.
Yeah. Denise and Rachel loves to make frittatas. If you go on her website, Rachel has a ton of frittata ideas. One of my favorite ones that she made was a margarita pizza frittata, where like it was like an egg frittata base, and then she topped it like a margarita pizza.
That's another
with,
great
like,
gluten-free idea too,
Yeah,
because she
totally.
really. I think we're gonna flip this this
flip that.
waffle pancake. We're gonna
Flip
see what
it.
happens.
Oh, look. Oh, it's pretty.
It's really pretty. We're gonna have to
DM,
give
you
it a
had
try.
such
Thank
a great
you.
idea there.
All right.
Denise commented and said better to add blueberries to the batter or on top, like you did.
The only reason why I do add them to the top once it's flipped is so that it doesn't like ruin the integrity of the pancake. I like a nice fluffy pancake. So actually, I mean, it still fluffs up around them, but I don't know. That's the way I've always made them. Should we give our Mexican coffees a little?
What are we waiting for?
Sorry, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, that's so good.
Isn't that good?
I love the hot coffee with the cold cream. Ooh,
and like
so
you don't
yummy.
even have to mix it; it just stays so nicely. I don't know if you guys can see this,
Yeah.
but it just kind of like starts marbling its way through the coffee.
Yeah, take a look now because it's not.
It's
you're
not
going
going to be here for very much longer.
Jenny commented and said, "How does a French press work?"
That's actually a good question, Jenny. I feel like this is something I've actually learned since we've worked here. I grew up in a house with a proper coffee maker. So this is a French press if you've never used one. And what you do is, let me just grab these pancakes off so they don't burn while I'm talking. I'm going to throw them on the pan. So you buy the French press. They're actually pretty inexpensive at the store. You just want to put, depending on how many cups of coffee, I do like a hearty tablespoon per cup, right? Was that what you would say?
Hearty cup?
A hearty tablespoon of coffee per cup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Grant's more of a coffee drinker than I am. I just know how to make it. So then you just pour some boiling water over the top, and then it's got this piece inside, which is probably not going to come out very easily now that the coffee is made. It's got a net inside, and then you just push it down once it's given like 4 or 5 minutes for the coffee to kind of get around the grounds.
It's got a net inside.
It's got a net inside.
You're a net.
Thank you. I am a net.
You're a Jeanette.
So then you just push it down, and then it's kind of a nice way of making coffee. It's not as large as a coffee maker.
Yeah.
We like to use it here.
It's great to use for when the power goes out. I don't know. I have one just in case the power goes out.
You never know.
Because I'm going to need coffee whether there's lights on or
Grant
not.
needs his coffee. He loves his coffee.
Cassie commented from Louisville, Kentucky.
Hello, Cassie.
Excuse me, Louisville.
Louisville.
My brother used to live there. And that's the preferred way of saying it is Louisville. Cecilia commented from Fort Myers, Florida. And Trish is watching from Orlando.
Hi, Trish. How are you? Cheers. I'm going to try another sip of my Mexican
let's
coffee.
try this,
We're going to try this yeast waffle pancake.
Pancake batter. This was Deanne's idea.
You know what would be cute? It could be like a pig in a blanket if you put the piece of fried chicken around the pancake. And
or you put a sausage in there.
Oh, I like that. Pancake waffles.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's yummy. It's very thin and crispy. I like it.
I'm excited to try the waffles too.
Yeah, I think
How are those doing?
Check those out.
Hi to Ken from New Jersey. Thank you for watching. And Anna's watching in Hawaii. Hello, Anna. Yeah, that actually came out really, really nicely. I wonder if we invented something new. A little waffle pancake.
Ooh, here we go.
Grant.
Do you have that?
Oh, sorry. You're like traveling real far with that. Pop that on there.
Remove these guys. Look at those waffles.
Oh.
Look how crispy those are. Can you hear that? Probably not because I barely can.
I'm like, what are we listening for?
But they sound hard on the outside.
Stephanie says that she likes to put peanut butter on her pancakes with a glass of milk. I like that too.
Oh, yummy.
Is it Sunny Anderson, our good friend Sunny Anderson, who has a recipe for cinnamon roll pancakes?
Yes.
They're up on the Rachael Ray Show, and that is one of my favorite recipes. I love pancakes.
Yeah, here we can put that down here.
Pancakes are one of those things too. I'm not sure why. When I go out for brunch, I'm always like, I can make pancakes at home. I'm not going to get them for brunch.
Yeah.
But I always want them. I always take a bite of whoever on the table ordered the pancakes because I really do like pancakes.
Whenever I go out with to brunch with my friends Tim and Amy, we always get a pancake for the table because nobody wants to eat like a whole thing of pancakes, but you do want a little bit, so you just get one for the table. Everybody splits it.
Ooh,
it's great.
I like that. All right, I'm gonna throw some of these pancakes on a plate so we can give them a try. Is it time to plate up some of those waffles?
It is.
Can we shout out to my cat whose name is Waffles?
Oh yeah, hey Waffles.
She's totally not watching, but
she could because she does have her own Facebook
Oh,
page, so she could be watching.
we're just talking a lot about waffles. Hi, kitty.
So I plated up one of our waffles over here. There it is. Now what I'm gonna do is take one of our.
Where'd that maple syrup go?
I was gonna take one. I'm gonna take like 3 of these guys.
Yeah, take 3.
3 chicken fingers. I'm gonna throw them into our mixture of maple syrup, butter, and apple cider vinegar. And then what we're gonna do? See, look at those chicken fingers floating around in that.
They're like sticky chicken
sweet,
fingers.
They're sticky chicken fingers coated in butter and maple syrup. And then once they're nice and coated, you top them right on top of a waffle.
Oh.
Look at that. It's like candied chicken.
Oh, stop that.
This is crazy, guys.
I'm really excited to eat these again. This has turned into a cheat day in here, I think. Anna commented and she said that she thinks French press coffee tastes better. I would agree. It's nice and strong and robust.
I think so too.
Sarah's watching in San Antonio, Texas. Hello, Sarah. And Tiana says that her, what's any of our favorite quick and easy breakfast ideas? I make these these blender pancakes quite often. Or I always just a scrambled egg with some veggies or whatever you've got working in the fridge. I think.
Those look yummy.
Here, I cut them for you.
Oh, thanks.
I'm gonna try this.
These look so good.
Yummy, yummy,
Is this the chocolate chip and blueberries version?
I think it's a combo. I need a surface to eat this on.
Oh, those are good.
I grabbed a pen. I'm so nervous about eating. I can't eat with a pen.
You could.
It wouldn't get me very far though.
Those are really yummy, and I love the banana in it. It's
Right,
not like
it's
too
nice.
strong of a banana flavor. It's a nice like mellow banana flavor with the oats. It's
So like
delicious.
you said, after you add the blueberries and the chocolate chips and a little bit of syrup on top, it's like a nice healthy breakfast. But like it's not like you're feeling like you're eating like total health food.
Yeah,
All right,
totally.
I'm going in.
Go in.
Oh, a big bite.
I want to try a chicken finger. Oh,
It's really hot.
oh, it's so good.
It's really good, Grant.
Ooh,
That
yum.
sauce is like, what else can we put that sauce on?
Everything.
It's really, really yummy.
This is like the definition of finger licking.
That's good.
I would even lick your fingers, but I won't. I will spare you
We'll
guys.
save that until after the cameras are off. Danny is watching Rachael Ray and us right now simultaneously.
Oh,
We'll tell Rach
fun.
we said hi.
Double screen.
I know.
happening.
Sherry says hello from Versailles, Illinois. And we are going to, I think we're going to head out.
I think so too, because we have a lot of food to eat.
We have a lot of lunch to eat. It's like
I-
breakfast for lunch, too. I know we were making breakfast for dinner,
I
but
know
why not
Tina
breakfast
Wu
for
is
lunch?
watching from her desk right now, and she really wants a waffle.
She's going to
So
barge
Tina,
in
come
here.
on in
Come
and
on
get a
in,
waffle.
Tina.
Thank you guys so much for watching. On the Rachael Ray Show tomorrow, Kelly Clarkson is stopping by,
Kelly
so that'll be fun.
Clarkson!
Everybody loves Kelly
Love
Clarkson.
you.
And Rachel's making patty melts and Pucky Huddle fries, or maybe they're Hucky Puddle. I forget.
We can't remember.
They're delicious.
Either
fries.
way, they're really good.
You need to watch the show tomorrow to find out what Pucky Huddle means, because frankly, I don't even remember now. So I'm going to tune in and watch. But thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you when we see you. All these recipes will be on the Facebook page later today, so make sure you come and check those out. But if you like what you saw today, make sure you like, comment, share, and cook.
Bye.
Bye, guys.